happy, following the blues. We love you, what more can we say? Let's hear you in the car, singing our song, helping and sharing the load. It's worth the point at all when we sing together. We're there at the end of the road. We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following.
It's Monday night, it's 7:30, and of course this is the Tilton Talk Show coming to you live from across and around the country. And a great win for the Blues on Saturday as we beat the old Chip Eaters 2-0. Big chip butty sandwich for me on Saturday night. Couldn't believe it. Saw a nice little Stokey fan this morning. Give him loads. Don't you worry. Give him loads. I'll give them all loads around here. I might even go to the pub after this and give some more, a few loads and all. Sponsored by Boyle Sports. Here we go, guys. Of course, with our good friends at SAS Autos. The Garrison Copy Company, and of course in conjunction with Accessi Blues. And look at him prompting me in the background. Look at him.
Did you say Boyle Sports?
Boyle Sports, the principal sponsor of the Birmingham City Football Club, of course. And tonight with us we have Mr. Robe.
Hello everybody, hope you're all okay.
That's enough.
Not too much here, please.
Mrs. Brown.
Good evening.
The one and only Mr. Sheen, Paul Hipkiss.
Good evening all.
And the was, of course, and still is, me.
Good evening.
But, of course, we are joined tonight with our very special guest, and we're honoured and pleased to have him on the Tilton Talk Show, one we've been talking about for a very, very, very long time. Ladies and gents, girls and boys, the one and only Chris Burke.
You had to say that nice thing about me there, didn't you?
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good, yes.
All right, mate, all right.
Yeah.
You're looking good.
Wow, thanks. Wish my wife would tell me that.
And you scored as well Saturday.
I can only say I'm not your wife then, mate.
Yeah, no, I did. I scored on Saturday. Obviously, it was a bit disappointing we never got the victory, but
Yeah.
we got a point out at the end. We're actually in a bit of a difficult situation. We're sitting second bottom at this moment in time in the league. And what happens in Scotland, in the Scottish League, is if you're sitting second bottom, you go into a play-off with the team that's in the league below you.
Yeah.
Oosh.
Finish second as well. So we have to try and finish third bottom because that's our objective.
Right.
We've only got 4 league games left.
Oh, nasty.
But I believe we can do it. We've got more home games than away games, so hopefully we can do.
You can do it. Do you know why you can do it?
Because Mr. Lee Boyer's done it.
Because not only that,
Yeah.
mate, you beat the Blues and you know what the expectations are, right? And you can get yourselves out there and you can do it.
Yeah, well,
Now,
that's the thing, because you're actually right in saying that. Because I told the group what I was in, but I'm Kilmarnock group that I'm in with now, that I've been there. I know what it's like to experience a relegation battle. So hopefully I can use my expertise in that sense and guide
we've
somebody.
all been there. I think I might have been in about 25 or 30 by now.
So you signed Paul? Can't you sign Paul Cuddy's, Chris, before your next game?
I know.
In it, the last kick.
Yeah,
Ziggy, yeah.
Big Ziggy, yeah, I
big
know.
reunion, yeah.
That was, we left it far too late there, but it was an amazing feeling. But in the same time, you know, we left it really, really late, didn't we?
Yeah.
I suppose it's one that.
Yeah, but what a day. What a day. Okay, so ahead of the show tonight then, ladies and gents, girls and boys, we've lost a Duke this week, and obviously the country's in a week of national mourning. His funeral will be on Saturday, as we all probably know, because it's blazoned all over the news. Give respects to our royal family. That's just part and parcel of what we do. We're football fans, you know, and there are times when we just come together. So condolences, obviously, to the Queen. You know what I mean? Being married 73 years to the bloke. That's a very, very, very long time. And she's lost her husband and as a dad and a granddad and a great-grandfather and all the other relatives involved as well. So from the Tilton Talk Show, respects.
Definitely.
Yeah. But having said that, we've gained another Duke, right? The Duke, King Duke of Birmingham. King Duke of Birmingham. You know what, Paul, I tell you what, wow, what a goal that second one was as well. I mean, it's pity that first didn't go in, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I love the first one as well. Roberts turning into David Beckham for a split second with that cross as well. Or turning into Chris Burke, sorry, as well, obviously,
course,
you know.
Whew, I'm glad you got that in.
But yeah, no, it was, great performance. And what a difference. I mean, I said before we came on, didn't I, that sometimes football is just not that complicated. You know, the basics are there, and Bowyer's come in and he's just gone back to basics, and he's got the best out of people, and he's got them playing to their positions. They're giving their heart and soul for the shirt and the badge, and that's all we ask for as fans, isn't it?
No more, Paul. We always say it probably almost every week. That's all we ask for. Now, at the end of that game, right, as you know, I live above the British Legion Club in Utah, and at the end of that game, downstairs is the bar, and I do know that the guy that runs the bar and is also my landlord is a massive Stoke fan, and I'm talking home and away every game. Now, I know that he was in that bar on Saturday afternoon, and I know that on 90 minutes I whacked YouTube on the TV through the boom bar, through all the speakers, and put Keep Right on to the end of the road, loud and proud. Oh, I know he heard it, and he ain't spoke to me since. Love it. Oh, cool, blimey. Of course, coming out of COVID today, then lockdown seems to be easing. The pubs are opened. Gardeners only, as you know. But you know what? Does that pave the way to opening stadiums for fans to start going back? It looks like it could. Let's all be sensible. And just hope and pray that we can get back soon, because I tell you what, it's literally been like somebody pulling one of your arms off and you've missed it that much, I'll be honest with you.
What's it like round by you then, Nick? Has your pubs opened?
Yes, they've all opened today. Sharon's got back to work. So,
good. So she's not in the room to annoy you, no?
No, not at all.
Brilliant.
Why the drinks cabinet door is open.
So, Chris, are you based in Kilmarnock now? Do you live there?
I live just outside of Kilmarnock,
Okay.
25 minutes away. So in the middle of like Glasgow and Kilmarnock. So, so I'm not that far. But it's interesting to hear you saying you're all buzzing that the pubs are opening and stuff like that. We don't have that yet.
Of course.
You don't?
No.
We don't have that.
I bet there's an exodus on the way down to England from Scotland right now.
Coming down south, yeah.
I bet you're even bringing some money with you.
I was going to say, Scotland and beer, it's sort of like, it does go together, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it must be difficult.
Yeah, it is. But
listen,
I think
my favourite Scottish phrase of all time was one that was on TV. There's been a murder.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's one of my
I can't remember who did
favourites,
it. Who said it, Paul? Come on, you got the
That
memory.
It was Taggart.
There's been a murder.
It's Taggart, yeah.
Well, it's Paul Caddis.
I don't know, I'm a bit euphoric today because 3 wins at home, on the bounce, clean sheet again.
Yeah.
You know, what more can you ask? What more can you want as a Birmingham City fan? You know, and Chris, this is the absolute truth. The lads here and everybody will testify for this. We interviewed Lee Bowyer 4 weeks ago, said to him, if the opportunity came back to manage Blues, would you take it? And he said, I'd never say never. And I said, see you in a week then, mate.
wow.
Right? He's my manager. I employed him, right? Not England. I employed him, right?
Well
I
done.
take every single credit for every goal, every pass, every performance, and every win. Not the losses. I don't take any credit for them whatsoever. But
We're going to get relegated now, aren't we?
And we've got a manager as well that's making three at the back work as well. 3-5.
Paul, we've also got a manager that understands the fans. Yeah? Even though the fans aren't there, right? He has an understanding of us.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well,
Chris, let's take it back. Yeah, Chris, let's take it back then, mate. So you joined us in 2011, obviously, just after we'd been relegated and won the Carling Cup. And, I mean, that was a great season, wasn't it? The first season you was with us with Chris Hughton.
Yeah, it was. You're right in saying that. Oh, I actually agreed in principle to sign for you before Birmingham got relegated.
All right.
So
Okay.
no matter what, I was coming. I'd already made the decision to leave Cardiff, and just I was listening because the championship finishes I think before the Premier League, and I was watching your game and getting relegated in the last game of the season. I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, Tottenham. Yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible. But at the same time, I still got a great opportunity to come to a massive club at Birmingham, and I loved every single second of it. I'm not just saying that because I'm on this, but it took me to the next level. Obviously, I think probably a lot of Birmingham fans didn't know much about who Chris Burke was. I wasn't a star name of a signing, wasn't marquee or anything like that, but it took me to the next level, certainly, especially that first season.
Yeah.
The McLeish signed me, and then he left and went to Villa. And Chris Hughton.
£10 fine. It's a £10 fine.
That's a swear.
Oh, I know how to do that word, am I not?
No way.
Well, anyway, Chris Hughton came in, and it was great for myself and for the group, and I think for the fans as well. I think we all connected very well that season, and I could probably say that resonated the last game of the season when we get knocked out in the semi-final. We're so appreciative of what we achieved that season with the European stuff, fitting that in with obviously the league. Even though we got beat, you could have easily jeered and booed, but you didn't. You were so appreciative of how much effort the whole group and the fans put into that season. It was a terrific season, it was.
It really was, yeah.
I remember thinking the Blackpool semi, Chris, I think another 5 minutes, I think we would have turned it around,
Yeah.
It was like the Alamo at the end. It was, it's non-stop, and I think we would have, scored and turned it around, but it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. That's twice, but Blackpool have actually hurt me in the playoff. It happened at Cardiff when we got beaten them in the final, and obviously when we played them at Birmingham, and we were on. You're right in saying that. If the longer the game went, we would have definitely got into that final.
Yeah,
I think we would.
Yeah. But you left us with some. Obviously, after you left as well, you left us with some great memories. I mean, some of your goals for us. I just remember you cutting back on that right foot and pinging it in the top corner with your left. And obviously the one at Brighton away sticks in my mind when we won 1-0. I think that was Robbo's debut. And we beat them 1-0, and you scored a great goal in that game. And Forest away, if I remember as well, it was a great goal. And just so many great goals you scored for us, mate. So thanks for the great memories as well.
The memories,
Definitely.
What was it like for you, Chris, when you'd either ripped the wing up and got that ball in for somebody else to put it, and everybody's singing "Burke will tear you apart" again. Superb.
I'm not going to lie. There's times when it happens, you feel as if you're invincible.
Yeah,
and that's the only feeling I would probably get to close to of like a Ronaldo and a Messi when somebody worships you that much. There's something, and that's what I felt like. I was getting worshipped. And I would have...
You were though. You were. I feel like it.
And still are.
I actually had to hold back the tears sometimes running back to the halfway line. Because I just thought, man, this is amazing. I never want this to end. So, yeah.
And that's why programs like this are so important, because we find out what the person is like rather than just looking at you on a football field. Yeah. And giving you that adoration, and it was because you deserved it, right? And if you didn't, we'd tell you, because you know what we are, brummies. But to find out that you were literally on the verge of crying after scoring a goal, or
that's giving me goosebumps, Anas. That's giving me goosebumps.
That's incredible. I've got my standard statutory goosebumps, Chris. Don't worry, I'll show you me.
That's brilliant.
That's actually, even I remember the last game of the season, I got my little boy out and he kicked the ball into the goal.
I remember that. Oh, that was super.
Them kick it. Yeah.
I honestly, again, had to hold back the tears.
I bet you did. Do you know what? I'll tell you something, Chris. I was crying. I promise you, mate. Look, he's going to score. He's going on, lad. Go on.
My boy still talks about it to this day.
Yeah.
Remembers it.
Yeah. He's a cheeky one, right enough. He's 12 years of age now, but he still talks about it to this day because it's on YouTube, and sometimes he goes back and watches it. That was just the connection that I felt I had with the fans and the football club, and doing that for my family as well, and settling my kids in.
How old's your son now?
He's how old? He's 12.
12, I think. Great. What a memory. What a lovely memory for him, though. But the cheer he got was just enormous, wasn't it? It was superb. It was beautiful.
And do you know what? That's better than any goal that I scored. And it's so strange. You probably know that, who are dads or whatever, or your grandchildren. If that means so much more than me scoring one at Forest or the one at Brighton, as you said.
Yeah.
That my son just running all the way for the halfway line and kicking it into an open net and the fans cheering is just, it's just an amazing feeling. We
didn't just cheer, but we were willing him on. Go on!
Yeah. I can flip that as well. I can flip that the other way around as a fan as well and say that, you know, the experience of my daughter. I've got a 10-year-old daughter now. She went to her first game when she was 7, and the first goal she saw us score as well. You know, that feeling as a parent as well. Even though, you know, it's nothing really to do with me. I'm just a fan and I'm there with my daughter. Even seeing my daughter see her first goal and start cheering was quite emotional as well, you know. And the first time she walked into St Andrews as well was an incredible moment as well.
Yeah, good.
I've got a photo. My son's 35 years old now. I've got a photograph of him at his first game in the old railway stand. Yeah. I thought I better not take him up on the back of the cop.
No.
Albeit we did migrate to there, up the back of there. And then I've got a video of his daughter, which is my granddaughter, making her very first entrance into St Andrews and clicking that turnstile round. And it's worth more than gold to me.
Yeah,
definitely. So I've got a 13-year-old, but he's got no interest now at the minute. He's just completely lost interest in football. He's going to his drawing.
You're a bad father. You're a bad father, Mark.
Give him a slap.
Here's Bo. She's come to make her weekly appearance. There she is.
Yeah.
Couple of early live questions coming in for you, Chris, from our viewers. Jason,
I'm sorry, Paul. Can I just stop you there, Paul? I'm really sorry, but I've only got access to my phone tonight, so I won't be able to see any of the questions. Could you keep your eye on this, dude?
Yeah.
Cheers,
First one I wanted to ask, Jason McDonough's just asking, where would Chris rate the Birmingham fans to compare to other clubs you played for?
Oh, that's. You know what? I don't want to be disrespectful to.
No, that's fine.
Which I think shows the respect that I have for yous as well. But it's hard not to say that they weren't the ones that appreciated me on the pitch the most, you know. That song that they had for me. In the same turn, I have to say that Cardiff City was the same. You know, they had a song for me as well, had a swear word in it, to be fair, so I can't sing it to you. But no, they were ones as well. So I'd say the two of them were fantastic towards me. You know, especially when you're a kid coming from Scotland and from Glasgow and going away from home and having to meet new people, and for you as fans to give me that warmth and to make me feel comfortable in your city. It's so much easier. Not just for me, you don't understand. Not for me, it's my wife as well and my kids. Yeah. You know, they don't know anybody, but when they see that myself on that pitch and the fans are warming to me, then it makes my life easier for my wife when I go home. You know, she's happier, and my kids are happier, and we wake up in the morning wanting to go to work and play for that football club.
Yeah, 100%.
That answers Jason's question.
Goosebumps.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, good one here as well from it was Michael Woods, I think, who asked it. He just said, ask Chris if he ever moved for a transfer fee, because Wikipedia suggests that you moved on at the end of your contract from each club that you was at. Is that right?
Yeah, no, he's right in saying that. As research, I actually have never been bought, so I've always been a free transfer. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Money wise, it's got to be not a good thing. Yeah. Oh, crikey.
Yeah, well, as you just don't know, do you?
Nah.
You're unsure.
No.
What I can say is, it's probably a good pub quiz to have. But at the same time, I'm just so appreciative that I got to do. It's not even a job that I have. I'm still going and just playing my hobby, and I'm getting paid for it still.
Yeah.
Like since the age of 12 onwards. Obviously, paid at the age of 17. I've not had to work a day in my life. Not yet. Until the day I retire, I'm going to have to start working.
Yeah.
And was Rangers your club growing up as a child?
Yeah, no, it was, but it was a little bit different from my own family because my mum and dad and my brother are Celtic fans.
Okay, I bet that was good then.
Yeah, I know. I actually played for Celtic Boys Club. Yeah, I played for Celtic first, and then, but back in the day, it's not like it was now with all the academies. You can only play for the one club and train for the one club, etc. Back in my day, you could play for one club and go and train for many teams. You know, I went down south to Arsenal and Manchester United, Newcastle, Everton, and I still trained with all of them while playing with Celtic and while training with Rangers, etc. So I was very fortunate to get that different approach from each club and learn through different coaches and how they approach the game. So, and I think that made me the player that I am today because I'm very adaptable. So, yeah, no, I was a Rangers fan and I actually chose myself to go to Rangers just because I liked it better. It's nothing to be because I supported them or anything like that. It's because I enjoyed the environment better. It's just the bottom line. I'm a firm believer if you enjoy and you're happy, then success comes. You know, you don't look for success first. I always believe that if you're happy and you've got a smile on your face and you enjoy doing what you're doing, you have passion for it, then that's when success comes.
Yeah, it's the old phrase, isn't it? Find a job you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah. Absolutely
so
right.
True,
Paul,
so true, yeah.
You know something though, Chris? You mentioned a lot of teams there where you came down south. You mentioned a lot of teams there. They're all up north to us.
All right.
All the way.
What, and Arsenal?
Everton, Newcastle. They're all up north, mate. They're not down south.
Yeah.
But
I think Chris and Marlon King are two of the best free transfers we've ever had.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, crikey.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I feel there's other free transfers as well, isn't there? Other people? No?
Stephen Carr comes to mind.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Stephen
Well, we can
Carr.
talk about Stephen Carr when we do my 1 to 11. But
Yeah. Oh, what a player. I mean, Robbo as well. Robbo,
yeah.
comes to mind as well. You know, he was only signing for a month, wasn't
he? Yeah, I know. I remember when he stepped in the door, I was so shocked that he hadn't had a football club because it straight away when he walked in the door, he's not just presence, but he's got that charisma and personality which everybody wants in a changing room because it infects the group in a positive manner. And then when you go on the football field and you've got that talent and ability as well, I was like, this guy's got something. I can't believe he's not signed for anyone. I don't know if it was through choice or through, you know, being unlucky or whatever. I do know that before that he went to America and he wanted to go and try it out there, but it didn't materialise. But we were very fortunate it didn't for Birmingham because he was definitely an influence in the whole group and a leader as well, I would say. Yeah,
definitely.
Absolutely.
Quite a few comments have come in. I got one here from Paul Stern. He says, I totally agree with Paul. My son's first game was against Barnsley, courtesy of tickets I won from this show. He was 7. We travelled over 100 miles. In every one of the miles was worth it seeing his face.
Sound like the Proclaimers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. When he walked to saw the stadium for the first time, priceless. Even met you all doing pie tests at half time.
Oh, yeah, it's just that feeling that you walk into the ground for I remember the first time I did it in '87 as well, my first game. But you know, seeing your own child do it though is a different sort of feeling to yourself. I think.
Very much so.
Stephen Gill says, Chris, who was your favourite player? I'm guessing at Blues, and why?
Oh, that's really difficult because there was so many good players that I played with and I was so fortunate enough. They took, as much as I says I went to the next level, they took me to the next level, they players. But the most influential one for me was Stephen Carr. I couldn't believe how good a footballer he was, you know, and I thought to myself as soon as I walked in the door and I trained with him, I knew that this was like a Premier League standard player. You know, I thought he shouldn't be playing in the Championship. And I respected the Championship. I just thought, wow, this guy's behind me, you know, and that can benefit me. I've never played with someone, no disrespect to the players that I've played for before, at right back, but Stephen Carr was just on another level.
Different class.
Oh, he's a great player.
It was just that's one thing that I'm devastated about at Birmingham, is that I never got a chance to play with him longer.
Yeah, got injured, didn't he? Not long into that season.
Yeah. And then that was it from then on.
Yeah.
And it was such a shame, because I knew we did have a good partnership together, even the short time that we had together.
Yeah.
I learned so much from him. I remember on the training field, what he did teach me a lot is, when I played for Cardiff, I was still relatively, I did like to keep the ball, I didn't lose the ball in certain areas and stuff, but he told me it's all right to go backwards, to attack again, come back out and we'll go the other side. And just simple things like that. Just make sure you keep the ball. And that's where I learned from him, because in the Premier League, if you do lose the ball, you get hurt more, don't you? So he learnt that as well through what he's experienced in his career. And I took that onto my game, playing for Birmingham, and that's what took me to the next level as well. There was sometimes when there was two men on me, as much as I would like to think that I could still beat the two men, that it's okay just to go back and go out the other side for the right back to then do something, because he would always tell me, you'll get the ball again, don't worry. And we created that. And I always remember it was a Derby game. I think we played away to Derby, first game of the season, when I was next to him. And I tried to take that on board, what he told me. And I think we did. We were very unlucky not to win to get anything from the game. I think we lost 2-1. But if you look back at the game, there was times where I did take his advice on board in the game.
Yeah, definitely. I've just got fond memories of him going on his runs down that right flank.
Yeah.
Right in
what an engine on him,
in the cup, and it was like he was like a steam train when he with the ball to his feet, just running. Built, his upper body strength and his pace as well for a 34, 35-year-old. It's incredible as well, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Michael Wood says Chris is the best free transfer anyone's ever had.
Whoa.
There you go.
Only go on soccer base and try and see that.
Nigel says, what was it like playing under Alex McLeish?
Yeah, I'm allowed to say that name.
Yeah. We've no secrets here. No secrets here.
If I'm honest, he did a lot for my career. If you remember, I don't know if you know this, but he was a manager at Rangers. He was the one that gave him an opportunity, into the first team. I learned a lot from him. In the training field, and obviously as make me grown into a man, really. Because that's what you have to do as a kid. You can have so much talent, as you see, with young kids coming through, and they might play 5 good games and then just never be seen again. But he made sure that I didn't just play 5 games, that I was playing 15, 20. I was affecting seasons, and that he definitely made me turn into a man rather than a boy. So I loved working with him, and it was obviously him that signed me for Birmingham, so I think he has to take some credit for that as well. That maybe I wouldn't have signed for Birmingham if it wasn't for the gaffer, Alex McLeish.
Yeah, and obviously he'll always give us that day that we'll never forget, winning the Carling Cup. Incredible.
Yeah, still text each other, see how we're getting on, etc. So we still keep in contact. So he did great things. People obviously have people might have other doubts about him or whatever, but
no, he did great things, Chris, without a doubt. Yeah. And then he spoiled every great thing that he did in one fell swoop. He spoiled everything that he did in one day. And then when he came back to St Andrews, he was manager of Nottingham Forest at the time. He got sacked the next morning, and I have never in my life, for all the hundreds and hundreds of games that I've been to at St Andrews, heard so much abuse hurled at one person for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Was you playing for Forest then, Chris?
No, I actually scored 2 goals, I think, and got him the sack.
Yeah, you did.
I'd shake your answer.
So listen, it's a result business game, isn't it?
It is, yeah. That was a result.
Yeah, I think it was 3-1 we won, and I scored one with my left foot, and then Nathan Redmond cut the ball back to me, and I think I maybe scored with a tap in. I think it was 3-1 or something like that. I definitely scored anyway, and we won. And I remember going to Scotland the day after. I think it was on the Sunday, and I was on the bus after we training with Scotland, and somebody's text that shouted up the back, "McLeish you've just got McLeish the sack."
Could you hear the abuse on the pitch, Chris?
No, I couldn't. No, sorry.
You couldn't. It
I
was
heard
relentless.
a massive roar though, when it was like a bigger roar normally when we scored. You know, it was like a laughing roar, if you know what I mean. Like a hatred roar. You know, you can get different roars, can't you? That's what it felt like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we're being joined by our chap on the fan cam, Mr.
Yeah. I feel like I'm doing the Walk of Shame and coming in late. Sorry, lads. Family commitments and all that.
Yeah, the late Adam Wilkes, ladies and gentlemen.
He thinks it's the late show.
All right.
Hey,
are we all doing good? Yeah.
All good.
Yeah, excellent. Well,
all good.
Wouldn't be good. Number one, after that result the weekend, and number two, we got Chris Burke on tonight. Who wouldn't be on tonight, mate? And number three, I've got a small gin. Well, it was full earlier.
You know, have a
I'm
nice.
glad he said gin.
Where's the fruit and inside it? No.
That's far too posh for Nick. That is.
Is it?
Crikey,
Yeah.
What's that, Paul?
God.
Or is it just
Fruit inside your gin.
I mean, he's drinking out of a pint glass.
I know.
He's a tramp.
That makes it a cocktail. We don't drink cocktails up here.
What a tramp.
Nick, you need to make it a bit more fancier than that, no? Get up with the tights.
So who was the best, Chris? Who's the best player you've ever played with in your whole career so far and against?
Oh, that's so difficult to answer. I've been fortunate enough, especially in my time at Rangers, where I played with people that have won, you know, the Champions League, played in World Cup finals.
Cool.
You know, top players that I played for, played the likes of Barcelona and teams like that, Ajax at the time. So it's really difficult to say. It really is.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to play with the two, Ronald and Frank de Boer.
Yeah.
And when they two came in the door, I learned so much from them. I remember standing out in the wing, as you do back in the day, where wingers just stood out in the touchline and
yeah, like in school. Yes.
Gone are the days of that now, obviously. But I would just stand there. But he would be the first. He was ahead of his time and probably ahead. He was playing European style football, which we British culture didn't understand yet, where the centre back would step into the midfield area, and he would just whip this ball with his left foot right across, splitting the midfield of the opposition's midfield, and give the ball to me. You know, and very rarely did you see a centre half stepping in and playing diagonal passes like that on the floor. And there was a few times at the beginning where the ball would just go out of play, and he would look at me as if to say, "You should be there." And I was like, I know I should be there, but I'm sorry, I'm not like the Barcelona style yet. So eventually I got used to his game, and I knew what he was doing when he stepped into midfield from the left centre back area, and he would just whip this ball with his left foot and disguise it very well. And all I had to do was just stand in the touchline. And then once that happens, I've got a 1v1 situation with the left back. So he was fantastic to play with. Arthur Newman was a left back as well, who I learned so much from, because he would speak to me in training and tell me when to go, when to spin, when to come short, when to lay it off one touch, when to take a touch, when to take me on, when to cross the ball. And then I learned from people like, you maybe not know, but there's somebody called Neil McCann, who was a white.
Remember him? Yeah, remember him.
So he would always, he could beat a man without beating the man. So he would cross the ball like David Beckham-esque, where you don't have to go past him to get the ball in the box. So I learnt that from him as well. I was very fortunate to play with so many good players. I've got Mikel Arteta as well, who's now the manager at Arsenal. He played for Rangers. He was a man that could disguise passes and make me, again, stand in the touchline. It's very easy when you play for one of the old firm, because you're attacking all the time. So you don't really need to do much defending. You just stay out wide, and as long as you've got good midfielders that can pass you the ball very quickly, you can get a 1v1. So I've got Barry Ferguson as well, who played for Birmingham.
Fantastic player.
He was an underrated player as well. Like he probably stayed too long at Rangers because he could have probably kicked on in the Premier League as well. He was a fantastic player. A born winner. Like you look at work rate. You know, he worked hard on the ones that worked hard, if you know what I mean. You get players that say, but he gives his all in training, you know, great attitude. But then he even raised the bar in that just because his desire to win football matches. I always felt as if he dominated the other opposition centre midfields. Very rarely did they get the better of him. Yeah,
fabulous player. And who's the best? Who would you say was the? Sorry.
No, Craig Bellamy, I was going to say, was finally one that I learned a lot from.
Yeah.
I like to take little parts from each player. When he first came into Cardiff, I learned so much of how to probably live your life properly and prepare properly for matches. He would do the ice baths. He would be always, when I came in, he was the first in the gym doing his prehab work. And then he would do 1v1 individual training sessions himself after training. So I learnt that from him as well. And he was such a great player as well, you know. That's through hard work and dedication. People don't see the extras that he does. That's why he is what he is, and he gets the money he got.
Yeah, he was a very good player, Craig Bellamy. And let's go with left back. So who's the best left back you ever come up against then as a right winger?
I would probably say there was Ashley Cole I played against Rangers. We played in pre-season, right? And I remember I nutmegged him and he still took the ball off me. I don't know how that... to this day, I don't know how it happened. I put it ball through his legs and I thought, I've got this. And he just went, no, you've not. And then he started the attack. He was another player that was just a tremendous player. So difficult to go past, but again, he was ahead of his time. He was one of the modern day attacking left backs. Always pushed the right hand side more into a defensive role.
Chris,
the right back, but the right winger as well.
Chris, I know I'm a latecomer, but I just want to jump in with a question, if I may. What's been your most favourite debut for club or country?
I have to say my country, man. I can't say no, my country, can I? It's very Plus, when you score 2 goals in your debut for your country, I can't not say my country, can I?
No, you can't.
Fair enough. Wow.
Who got against Chris?
Bulgaria. We played Bulgaria and we won 5-1. I think it's one of the only cups that Scotland have ever won, so I'm hoping that changes in the Euros when we beat England.
And if you had to
he's just going to spoil it now.
If you had to pick a club debut, what would it be?
A club debut? Again, it's going to be very difficult for me not to say my first ever debut. Again, I scored. I came on for Rangers. Do you know what? I come on for Andre Kanchelskis.
Really?
You know, I'm just a young 19-year-old coming off the bench here, and I've got like a superstar like Andre Kanchelskis who's saying like good luck, and I come on within 90 seconds I score.
We've got
it's actually not hard for you to say. It's hard for me to say because what you're telling us is the truth, mate. You know, that's it. You know, we're not bothered that it wasn't Birmingham City, right?
No.
Wow.
If your football club was Rangers as a child, and you got to take off a player of that calibre, the club that you loved as a kid, then that has got to be your defining moment, mate. That has got to be up there with your child scoring that goal.
It's got to be.
Yeah. And scoring 2 goals on your debut for your country, I mean, what a feeling that must have been.
Yeah.
You know what, though? All I can remember is I was so tired because we flew to Japan. Like, the season's finished on Saturday. We flew to Japan on the Sunday. I think we trained one day and then we played the next game. And I was thinking, I was on the bench because it was my first time international duty as a teenager. And the manager at that time was Walter Smith. So I was just thinking to myself, I was yawning on the bench, but I was trying to hide my yawns because I thought, if he sees me yawning, I'm not coming on this pitch here. So I was like hiding my yawning and stuff. So I came on and I scored 2 goals, which was, do you know what? I thought to myself, this is easy, this.
But he was playing for Scotland.
Not many
Get
times.
in, get in.
Can score 5 against a team of Bulgaria, so
Yeah.
No, exactly. Yeah.
So don't you, when you're younger, you just think it's always going to come. Nah.
Take it for granted, yeah.
Yeah. It's good. Can I just get this one in? This one's from Mark Holland, and he's on YouTube. He says, I remember Chris being very intense on the pitch, but how chilled out is he on here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good for football, though, isn't it? It's just natural. It's just, we love talking about the game. We've all got different opinions and emotions. Yeah. But once you step over the Scottish and the ginger in me, where you step over that line, I'll do anything to win.
Yeah.
I love winning, you know. I just listen, that I'll never give up, no matter if we're getting beat, you know, and there's only a second to go, or we're winning. I still want to score the next goal or whatever. So I might be told here, but it's just because I'm talking. It's something that I've done for years, so it's easy for me to talk. But once I step into that field, I'm sure you would all be the same. Maybe your emotions get a little bit.
Absolutely.
I'm a different animal. So I think that's good to have, though. It's good to have that trait where you have to have that ruthlessness about you, and that you know, never say die attitude, that kill momentum in you when you step on the field, because you don't really want the sort of player that's, you know, same, you know, laid back approach when they step onto the field. You do get that. You still have to have that guile and composure, calmness when you're in front of goal or defending a goal, but at the same time you have to have that fire inside you, don't you?
I think everyone, it doesn't matter what you do, you're 10 times more serious when you're doing your job, aren't you, than what you would be in your normal downtime.
That's it.
But we got a message coming in from last week's guest for you, Chris, as well. Stephen Caldwell, we had on last week.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. He's just said, Chris Burke, what a guy, I miss him so much.
Talking about an emotional person, Stephen Caldwell is so emotional.
Really? I think you're right. Yeah.
You can't beat emotion, though. It's brilliant.
I know. He's such, you know what? See him and Wade Elliott again. It was somebody that they had already, you know, they had experienced Premiership football. They've had more experience than me in England, etc. So they helped me again settle in at Birmingham. They were fantastic, and I forever call them two friends. So it's just unfortunate when you play football that you don't get to see your true friends as much as you would like, just because of logistics and geography, etc. You know, if I could, Stephen Caldwell was in Glasgow and Wade Elliott was in Glasgow, I would be seeing them nearly every day. You know, it's just a shame that it happens like that, because that's why I probably enjoyed my time at Birmingham, played so well with Birmingham, is because as soon as I left the training field, I still felt as if I was having fun. You know, I still felt as if I had my family, my friends around me, and I include them in that.
And before the show as well, Chris, we had a message from Marlon King. He said it was criminal that he didn't play in the Premier League. He said Berkey was my guy. He said I loved it. I loved scoring. I didn't mind Chris jumping on me because he was the lightest. That's from Marlon.
you know, as much as I put on my starting 11, Marlon King is my first choice on that sheet.
You've just changed it. Come on.
I'm telling you right now, I was going to tell you that, but Marlon King, I always say you're only as good as your number 9.
Great striker, wasn't he? Great player.
Yeah. Clinical.
Let's do it now, then, Paul.
And a nice chap.
Should we do it now?
Yeah, good link into the 1 to 11.
Yeah, go for it. Good link in, mate.
Go for it, Chris. Hit us with your 1 to 11, mate.
All right, okay.
Yeah, if you're ready. Come on, then.
In goal, Marlon King.
and left back.
So it's very difficult because, again, played with really good players at Birmingham, and I hope I don't upset anyone, but
you will.
They're all listening. They're all watching.
If you want to be a coach or a manager one day, you have to make these decisions, right?
Exactly.
So this is what it is. So I played with Bowes, Myhill, and I played with Butland, but I'm going to have to pick Randolph because I think, for me, he was the most consistent. Obviously, Jack was a young kid and he was still learning his trade. But I just think the way Randolph played for us, he was a great character as well, and you can just see with his career so far as how much he's developed as a player as well. And from coming from a team like Motherwell to Birmingham and then taking it on board so easily was great for me. So Randolph for me is definitely number one. Stephen Carr is obviously the obvious choice, and he's my captain, my skipper, my leader inside the changing room and outside and on the field. I can't speak highly enough of the man. That it probably helped me develop my playing career at Birmingham. You know, it's unfortunate because I could have picked Paul Caddis, and I loved playing with Paul Caddis as well. We probably had this similar connection that we would have had with me and Stephen Carr, with me and Paul Caddis, with me playing inside. And basically, we were playing with two wide players, because I always think Paul Caddis was a wide player as well. We could also play midfield, but we were definitely a threat down that right-hand side. So, unfortunately for Caddis and probably Jonathan Spector as well, that I've picked Stephen Carr, and I don't think they could argue with me on that anyway. So, they're on the bench.
Absolutely not.
So I've got the obvious one, I think, that maybe a lot of people, I don't know who's been on this show that I've played with myself, is probably Stephen Colwell and Curtis Davis. I think that's a two solid partnership, ones that complement each other very well. You've probably got best Stephen Colwell playing in the left-hand side and Curtis playing in the right. The two of them have different qualities. I think Stephen was probably a bit more comfortable with the ball at his feet and playing out from the back and playing through the lines and starting to attack. And then you've got Curtis Davis, who was the no-nonsense and very aerial presence, was great. And he could also score you important goals from set plays, which is very crucial. Two great guys as well. And then in left back, it's very difficult because I played with Ridgewell and I thought Ridgewell was so talented, but I only played him for a little bit of a time, so I'm not going to include him in it. And I've picked Murphy, because I think Murphy's a terrific player again, a modern day left back who liked to get up and down, could assist and he could score goals. And if you can get fullbacks that can do that, then you've always got a chance of winning football matches and playing attractive football. And Murphy's definitely one of them, a great guy. And unfortunately for him, I didn't get to play with him longer because of due to injury. And that's a shame, because I've got Carr and Murphy who were fantastic players. And I believe if they two were fit, no disrespect to the other ones, but that would have been influential from being in the Championship to being in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And you have to keep your best football players, especially fullbacks as well.
Murphy did his knee, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think he did,
His career was cut short, sadly, by it, wasn't it? He had to retire quite young, didn't he?
It was such a shame. A nice guy as well. Again, someone that came from Scotland. I don't know if Alex McLeish actually maybe brought him in. He came from Hibs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, McLeish signed him. Yeah.
Came from Hibs, and he done really well. So, do you want me to say who I'm going to put on the wing? The wings?
Yeah.
I'm playing an old traditional 4-4-2 just because I think that's what everyone likes. Sometimes we complicate it a bit too much with different formations, but it's the players within the formations really. They're intelligent enough not to play 4-4-2. They'll adapt and they'll be intelligent enough. So on the right hand side, obviously you're telling me I can't play myself. So I'll just be the mascot or the fan. I'll just enjoy the match. So it's a bit difficult because I think Nathan Redmond's probably better on the left-hand side, but just because of his talent, and I can't not include him in it. When he first burst onto the scene and they first trained with us, I thought, who's this kid? He's something special. I've never seen so. I thought I had quick feet, but that boy has quick feet. He could just go past people so easily, manipulate that ball and take so many touches before you even blink. Obviously, when he first came on the scene, he was still at the age he was developing and maybe making little bits of mistakes, and his end product wasn't as the way it should have been. But I still think he was influential, and he still created a threat enough where defensive lines just dropped, so it created more space for other players. So that's why I include Nathan in that. And you can just see with his career that the talent that he has. He's kicked on.
Still doing it for Southampton, isn't he?
He's actually changed position as well. He can play up front now. He can play behind. He can play in the 10 role, and that just
shows, doesn't he?
The intelligent player that he is. It was sad to see him go, but it's great to see him flourish. And then we've got another player on the left-hand side that would complement well with Murphy, I think, when the two of them played well. Two of them played together, they played really well, and it's Jean Beausejour. Again, it was a player that I didn't really know much of when I came into Birmingham, but I thought, yeah, this player is like Premier League standard. He is very, very good technically, a technician. Yeah. It was like, you know, with wide players, you get a lot of wide players that are inconsistent and they maybe lose the ball a lot and then they get taken off, because they're the first ones that really get taken off, don't they? But Jean Beausejour was one that never really lost the ball. Again, a European style, European minded, where don't give the ball up too easy. And I learned a lot from him in that sense, where you could tell that's why he's played in the Premier League. That's the difference from playing the Championship in the Premier League, where you don't give the ball up too easy. Again, it's unfortunate he went to Wigan when I was still there. We would have liked to have kept him, because again, you want to try and keep your best players at the football club to get into the Premier League, but understandably that's just how it went and he moved to Wigan. So yeah, Redmond on the right hand side and Beausejour on the left hand side, and then the two in the middle was probably going to be a little bit, they would say, a little bit light, but I do think with the two behind them in Colwell and Davis and Carr, to an extent that they're solid enough to protect them, I would probably go Keith Fahey and Wade Elliott. Now, I was going to put Wade Elliott in the left. I think Fahey, it was an underrated player for me.
Absolutely,
definitely.
I really do. Again, it was a player that never gave the ball up easily. Just went about his business. He was a quiet leader. He did his talking on the pitch. He was a very unselfish footballer, and it's very difficult sometimes to get that, especially when you've played at a high level, because when you play at a high level, the ego tends to be bigger. But for Keith, it wasn't that sense. I think he should have probably done himself a little bit unjust, and he could have gave himself a little bit of a bigger ego to kick on again. But Keith Fahey was definitely one that I enjoyed playing with. He was one that could play it round the corner, over the top, first time. And I think there was a few times in my career that he set me up to assist somebody or set me up for me to score with just playing the ball in behind first time, and I just knew with his eyes and looking at him that he was going to play it, and I could trust him in that sense. Then we had Wade Elliott, who is a great friend of mine, but a fantastic footballer. Again, never gave the ball up easily. A real intelligent footballer, thought about the game methodically very well. Was always thinking about how he can beat his opponent, and he would always think about the game in the game. So he would, in action, he would always think about the game. So for certain scenarios happening, he would utilise that space. He wouldn't just play central midfield. If he thought he had to go deeper to get the ball, he would go deeper. If he thought he had to go higher, he had to go higher. And he would influence the one round about him as well. So he would influence Beausejour, he would influence the forward in front of him. So I loved playing with Wade. Again, another unselfish player, and he could see a through pass as well. So
looked like you had a great bond on the pitch during that time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think that's important, though, a connection. I think it's important to have connections with people to flourish. Especially for myself, the right back, I like to have a connection with, and that's why I pick the players that I think have a connection with each other, and the ones that, when you step over that pitch and the guy next to you has got your back, and if that's the guy next to me, he's got my back. So then we go to up front, the two up front, and this was probably the most difficult one, because I was looking through it and I thought to myself, God, did Birmingham City have so many good attacking players? If there's one thing, that if we could just put all the attacking players on the pitch, it would be great, wouldn't it?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And just leave Randolph to it. But I have to go 4-4-2, and I have to pick the ones that I think would score goals. So I picked Zigic and Marlon King. I think they complement each other as well. Again, I'll go firstly to Zigic. It was a misperception with him for me. A great guy, great character. I thought he was very selfless as well. I think sometimes he was misconstrued on the football field just because of the way his manner was in the pitch. That was just his characteristic. And he complimented myself because I was a wide player and I knew all the time that if I dinked it to the back post, he was there.
Yeah. How many did you set up, Chris? When we beat Leeds 4-0 at Leeds, how many of them did you set up? Was it all of them?
No, I don't think so.
Just be modest.
I think, I don't know, I couldn't tell you. Maybe only one, because I think Wade set one up. I think Murphy maybe set one up for a deep cross. And I think
possibly.
Do you remember Gomez, the central?
Yeah,
Gomez. Yeah,
I liked him.
Came from Dundee United to. Again, he was a really good player, Morgan Gomez.
Yeah.
He ratted about and maybe get booked a little bit too much because he always flew into a challenge. But hey, we don't mind that. Sometimes you win the ball for your team and you go up the park and score. With that risk element, he definitely had that. I think he set one up that day. So I think it was 4 different assists. But I think Zigic had a great day that day. No, but I always said to Big Zig, before the game, remember, when I get to that byline or whatever, I'll dink it to the back post and he'll be there. And he was always there for me, really. Even if I got it deeper, I would just.
You can't miss him.
No.
I saw him jump once.
How tall are you, Chris?
Me? Oh, if I'm I'm probably shrinking as you go older, don't you? So I'm like 5'7".
5'10".
You're
5'7".
5'7".
5'7".
So sorry, we got to Ziggy, yeah. So that's and then.
Yeah, so obviously I played with. I could have included Adam Rooney, who was again a great squad player and one that always scored goals when asked of him. I could include Chris Wood.
Yeah.
And one that was developing into a great prospect. And you can see the career that he's had now.
Yeah, great journeyman, really. Yeah.
Yes, again, when he was asked to go onto the field, they delivered and they scored goals. Great aerial presence. But I have to go with Marlon King again. I'm not just saying this, guys, but Marlon, for me, my partnership with him was it was second to none. I've never ever had a connection with a striker so much in my career to this day. As none's no more so than me, Marlon King. I just trusted him so much to hold up the ball. He always kept the ball. When you get these strikers in the back to goal and you just don't know if he's going to hold it up.
Yeah.
I knew Marlon was holding that ball up. And he was a very unselfish footballer. For a striker that scored so many goals, but always was selfless in what he did. And people would say, like, Chris Burke set up so many assists for people. But if you probably look back, the amount of assists that Marlon King gave me, was second to none. Because it's me running off him and him giving me the correct way to pass at the right time for me one and just naturally then go in and shoot a goal. It was incredible. You get so many strikers, and I've played with so many strikers myself that have scored a lot of goals in their career, but they're selfish. They'll turn and shoot when they shouldn't. But Marlon wasn't like that. He would lay it off when he needed to lay it off. A fantastic footballer, and again, so unfortunate with injury that he had to stop because Well,
what a team that is, and Marlon's living the dream in Zambia now. Construction company.
Yeah,
he definitely is, man. He's got too much land, that guy.
I know.
He's got a beautiful house as well, Chris. He took us on a guided tour on his phone.
Yeah.
Oh my lord! It just looks like it's like one of those millionaire pads you see on.
Living like a king out there, he is.
He is literally.
Yeah.
Deserves it.
So no, that's a fantastic team. Anyway, thank you, and I'd love to reminisce and think back to. Just to think where we'd finish today with that team as well. Where would we be? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's such an enjoyable season.
Yeah.
Manager Paul?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the manager as well, Chris. Sorry, the manager.
Oh, yeah. So, Carl's obviously my captain. There's no doubt and question about that. I don't think anybody could argue with that either. Chris Hughton is my manager. Just because, again, when he came in, a great man manager, great human being as well. And I think when you're a great human being, it helps you become an even greater manager. A manager and coach, I would say. He coached as well. And he definitely took my game to the next level, as I said. But I have to not just pick the manager. I know you might not think this is important, but to look internally, Nick Davis, the sports scientist, helped so much in develop my game. When I spoke about Nathan Redmond, I've never seen him move his feet so fast. That's because of Nick Davis. You know, his sessions before training and after training and the warm up was the repetition of moving your feet quick, doing the right prehab work and post-hab work, and he helped me go to the next level. Also, Paul Trollope as well. And people always say, "Oh, I cut inside and I shoot with my left foot." That didn't just come naturally or instinct. That came through hard work, and it came through practicing after training, whether it was twice a week, 3 times a week, 15 minutes. And Paul Trollope would come and take me, and he would do these repetition of just passing the ball back to me, taking a touch with my right foot, shooting my left foot and putting it in the bottom corner or the top corner or whatever. So I have to add and include them in that. I can't just include Chris shooting. I have to include the team, because it was a team that developed us to the success that we had.
Right. Should we go to a couple more live questions, if that's okay? You got to go on then, Chris.
I've got a couple. Yeah. Nigel wants to know, who did you play under at Cardiff, manager wise?
I only played with one manager. It was Dave Jones.
Dave
Jones, and he was the one that took me from Rangers to Cardiff. He actually came in and he said, "Listen," he was again another manager that was just more of a man manager, not a coach. He let his coaches do the coaching, but I thought he was a great man manager, and he was great at player ID. You know, his recruitment was fantastic. We would probably underachieved though, if I'm honest. At Cardiff, if you looked at the squad and the team that we had, we should have been in the Premier League. If you looked at it, you had Chopra and Bothroyd up front, you had McPhail, you had Whittingham, you had Bellamy, you had myself, you had Mark Hudson, you had David Marshall as well in goal. There was many top quality players in that team, and we just underachieved. But Dave Jones was a great man manager and left to delegate for the other coaches. And I remember when I first signed, he said to me, "I don't care how bad you are in training, as long as you're good for me this Saturday."
Yeah, that's it.
And I was like, that's a manager thing, isn't it? I don't care if you turn up 5 minutes before training, but as long as you deliver for me on Saturday. I did turn up for 5 minutes, and I did turn up for training, though. So
I know we touched on it earlier, but I know you're at Killy, and that you did score on Saturday. Dave Torn wants to know: have you ever had a Killy pie?
I have had a Killy pie, and it's lovely. You should, when this all finishes and whatever, you are more than welcome, and I'll get you tickets, and you can come to a Kilmarnock match. And Kilmarnock.
That become my favourite team in Scotland.
You can all have a Killy pie and you can try it.
What is a Killy pie? What's a Killy pie? What's a Killy pie?
It's very well known for having the best pie in Glasgow or Ayrshire. Everybody who comes to a football match, well, back in the day, can't now, but hopefully it'll be over soon, that everybody went to the football match to get a Killy pie, not just to go to the Kilmarnock match if it was a Killy pie.
So is it? It's not haggis or anything like that.
No, it's meat.
Oh right, sorry.
It's not haggis. You're all right. You'll like it. Don't worry. You'll like it.
Okay.
We'll have to do Piegate. We'll have to do Piegate part 2.
Yeah.
Chris Burke, are you a fan of the Balti pie?
What?
Balti pie?
What pie?
A Balti pie. A Balti. Like a Balti curry.
Balti pie.
Like a curry, Balti. A Balti meat.
So that's a curry pie.
Yeah. It's a Balti.
You don't know this, guys. I'm an athlete. I don't do that.
And we are, obviously. Look at us. Look at us. Look at Paul. Look at Nick.
Look, Nick's drinking a gin and I'm drinking a water. Come on. What he doesn't know is that I thought this with vodka.
I'll bring that water, can you?
Just touching on Jason McDonald's question earlier, is the plan to go into coaching after you finish playing, Chris, or management?
I would love to, but the only thing is that every man and his dog wants to do it who retire. That's the thing. So I've always said that I want to do it the right way. I want to do all my badges. I want to get all the much experience as I want as I can get. I don't want to be given anything to me just because of my name. I want it because I'm good at it. I want to do it the right way. So, but I want to start at a lower level and work my way up. I don't want to just step into a managing role or step into a coaching role where it's first team level or. I want to start and I want to learn and develop, and because let's face it, I named a team there, but I think the new generation is different characters now, isn't it? It's a different involved. So I have to learn their mind. You know, the kids. I need to learn the Generation Z, how to get the best out of them. Because let's face it, to get the best out of the group that I just said, it's quite easy, isn't it? You know, they all want to step on that pitch and deliver, and sometimes you need to try and tap into young kids now, or the ones that are there. You have to just maybe give them a little push more, and that's not saying that they can't give you more because they're probably more talented.
And I've got a good one here from Matt Roberts as well. Any regrets from your time with Birmingham? So any regrets from your time with us at all?
Not getting used to the Premier League.
Yeah.
And that's it. Really, it was my dream as well as yours. You have probably watched your team playing in the Premier League. I've actually never experienced it, and that was the closest I came.
Yeah,
I still can't believe that, to be honest.
Yeah,
I can't believe never played in the Prem.
Was you never linked with like an actual going to a club in the Prem?
Do you want to hear the story? I don't know if you want to hear this.
We do.
You're not going to say that.
We do.
Turn him off.
We do. No, go on.
Good night, Chris. Say goodbye.
No. I got a feeling. I got a strange feeling.
When I was at Rangers, I went to go meet Martin O'Neill at Aston Villa.
Twice.
I agreed terms. I agreed terms and everything, so I was going to play in the Premier League, but then I chose to stay at Rangers.
Good call.
Good choice.
Good call.
Yeah, good.
Perfect. Getting a bit worried.
Shall we do, Chris? Shall we do the
Ooh? Okay.
Yeah.
Go on then.
So what we do now, Chris? We're going to play a clip now of an ex-Blues player speaking.
Mm-hmm.
The clue is that you've played with him. Okay, so if you think you know who it is, just tell us the first letter of his surname. Okay, and then we'll let our viewers see if they can get it.
All right. Okay. Right. First letter of his surname. Right. Okay.
Okay. Here we go.
Go.
Hopefully.
We are very pleased with the result. 3-0 is a good result, and we get 3 points, so we are very happy.
What kind of a day was it today? It must have been quite a strange day playing against Steve Cottrell when he's in the technical area next door.
Of course, it was the one who got me, but now he's moved on, and we just have to keep walking on. And the only thing we thought about today is to win the game and get 3 points, and we did that.
So that interview is nothing to do with Blues. Okay, so he wasn't playing for Blues at the time of that interview.
Yeah.
Right.
Any ideas?
H.
Yes.
Oh.
Whoa!
Yes.
Tear you apart again.
Chris, you're the first guest. You're the first guest we've ever had on that's probably got it first time, I think.
Yeah.
Unless you're thinking of somebody else with H, obviously. But yeah. Anyone got any ideas?
Apparently some steak and gravy is a killie pie, apparently, so I've been told.
It's what, Chris? Sorry?
Steak and gravy. I'll have that.
It's like a steak pie then?
Yeah. But with gravy, yeah.
But we call it a different name.
Yeah, we call it a meat pie, don't we?
Meat pie. It's only one syllable as well.
Yeah. It sounds better though, doesn't it? Steak and gravy.
You also call murder.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be a murder.
We're in Solihull, we call it murder.
Chris,
I'll tell you what, Chris,
that
that was a
who
good
again?
Brummie accent, mate. That was a good Brummie accent, that was.
It was,
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, thanks. Well, I've got friends from Birmingham still.
Have you?
Whereabouts did you live when you played for us?
I lived in Dickens Heath.
Everyone lives in Dickens Heath when they play there now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
I don't know how much time I've got, but it took me 3 months to find a house in Birmingham.
Did it?
I lived in, do you know where the Radisson, in the town in the centre?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the Radisson Blue.
I was in there for 3 months.
Right. Oh,
And
yeah.
I was there when the riots were going on. So I turned up, signed
It's your fault.
lovely little place, 10 minutes everywhere. And I come to this big, massive city where I'm stuck in a big, massive hotel, little roundabout. People are rioting, smashing windows. Fear for my life. 2 people crashed into me in the space of 3 months when I got there, and I thought, what is happening here?
It's just home from Rangers, isn't it, Chris?
What?
Wasn't it just home from home as it been at Rangers?
That's why
people rioting.
That's why I love the city so much. I couldn't get
So home from home.
A lot of people are having a go at this. So just to repeat the clue, Chris Burke obviously played with this player.
Yeah,
His
not
surname begins with H. So people are saying Hleb. It's not Hleb. It's not Hughes. So it's somebody beginning with H surname that played with Chris.
Can we hear it again, Chris?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's hear it again. Here we go.
We are very pleased with the result. 3-0 is a good result, and we get 3 points, so we are very happy.
What kind of a day was it today? It must have been quite a strange day playing against Steve Cottrell when he's in the technical area next door.
Of course, it was the one who got me, but now he's moved on, and we just have to keep working on. And the only thing we thought about today is to win the game and get 3 points, and we did that.
Let's give him a few more minutes, and then Chris can you can tell us who you think it is if no one gets it in the next couple of minutes. Say again.
Give them a possession. Do you want me to tell them the possession?
Go on then.
That's showing off.
They might get it a bit better. They might get it.
Oh, go on then.
Go on then.
He's a striker.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go. There you go. He was a striker.
This is what's
And best to Steve Cottrell. Hope you're feeling a lot better, mate, because we know that you've been struck down with that awful disease, COVID, and just hope that you're on the mend and bouncing back as we'd all like. There you go.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Very well done to Dave Twine, who's just got it.
Who was it?
Do you want to tell us, Chris?
It's Hunstruck.
Who?
How'd you say it?
Hunstruck.
Jockstrap. What?
No one on here can spell it either. Who's?
It was Eric
Husklepp.
Husklepp.
Yeah, what's that?
That's the bloke.
Husklepp. Yeah.
Same bloke.
Never heard of
It's
him.
all right. We know he had a bit of flair about him.
It was all
Yeah,
right.
he only played a few games, didn't
Yeah.
he? He was always smiling. He looked like the Joker.
Yeah, he scored
Yeah.
2 or 3 goals, important goals for us.
Yeah, did
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's from Portsmouth.
I was going to
How
ask.
did you-
I was going to. Sorry, Paul. I was going to ask Chris. Did you keep any shirts or memorabilia from your time at Blues?
Yeah, I've got one in my. Well, I would say it was my study. My wee boys took over it as an Xbox room, but I've got the European strip in my study frame.
The yellow one.
No, well, do you know what? I've not got the yellow one because I gave it to my brother. So I can't take it back off him, can I? That's about not.
I'd be around there now. I would.
I've got the blue one. I've got the blue one up the stairs, and I've got the picture of the team just below it. Lovely.
Nice.
Nice black.
Superb. Wonderful. Okay, it's Blues Rotherham on Sunday, 12 o'clock kickoff, guys, live on Sky. And your predictions, please. Chris Burke, I'll start with you. The mini cup final, this one.
It is, yeah.
Who are they playing? Sorry, I missed that.
Rotherham.
Rotherham.
I've got a tough time of it. They're playing 2 days' time after that, they're not, or 1 day's time, something like that. I fancy Birmingham to win that one up. I think it'll be a close game, but I'm going to go 2-1 Birmingham.
2-1 to Blues. Okay.
Yep.
Adam Wilkes.
I'm going 2-0 Blues.
Right out. And Mark.
I'm going to go 3-1 Blues.
Chris.
I'm going to keep up with tradition. I'm going to go for 2-1 Blues.
And Paul.
I'm going to go 2-0 Blues.
Right. This is the truth. You ready? Mm-hmm. This morning, I woke up. I must have just had a dream. I was convinced that I'd just read the newspaper and Birmingham beat Stoke 6-2. Right, and there's me on the phone to Chris telling me that he's got to do tonight's show in the buff, right? Absolutely true. So, I reckon we're going to beat them. Linda, listen to this, 6-0.
Wow.
6-0. You heard it here first.
We've got an agreement going on, Chris, that if we score 6 goals in the game,
Right.
then Chris will do the show in the nod. Chris Brown, that is.
Me.
Will do the show.
Wow.
In the nod.
Yeah, I hope it's just from there up.
So do we.
No,
You don't know what I'm wearing now.
from there down.
What do you make of our team nowadays, Chris? You're watching much of us. You said you're looking out for our results and
I look
seeing
out
much of us.
I look out for the result. I don't look at the team. I always look at the result. I obviously seen you were in a bit of a bad place. And it looked as if you were not going to get out of it because I didn't see where you were going to get a victory, if I'm honest.
No, never did we.
I looked as if Rotherham was your saving grace just because how far away
I'm
they
responsible.
are. But, sorry?
I'm responsible. I hired him.
Yeah, you hired him. But it was a strange one because I don't know what you thought about Kerrang, because I thought it would always have worked.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We all did.
I think we all thought at the beginning of the season he was probably the answer to our dreams, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of us were quite shocked that he actually came and then thought, this is a great signing.
It just didn't work and we've moved on, that's it.
Yeah, well, hopefully now it's turned, hopefully the manager gets the players that he wants and he gets to implement the style that he wants and they can kick on from there and next season you can start challenging for the Premier League.
He's also got the team playing how we want as well. We're important as well, We're important because this isn't a job to us, this is a life.
Yeah.
It is a life. You'll know we're Rangers, right? Mm-hmm. It is your life.
Part of your identity, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. Anyway, ladies and gents, we're into the last 15 minutes of this show. And tonight we've had jock straps. Now, goodness gracious me, Mr. Adams. We also play at St. Andrews. Oh, okay. You see where this is going?
I do.
We have the accent. There's going to be a murder.
I'm scared.
And, of course, our theme tune, Keep Right On to the End of the Road, was sung by the wonderful Harry Lauder, who also came from Scotland. So it's anything to do with Scotland and football, ladies and gentlemen. Anything to do with Scotland and football. I'll start you off with Glenn Hoddle. Ooh.
There's like a word association, Chris, where, we just, I'm trying to think. So you could say I don't know, Alan Shearer's for something in a shed, for example.
Yeah.
So it's like a word association. Anything to do with Scotland and football.
Oh, they're coming in already. Okay, so we got Scoot Dan.
Who?
Scoot Dan.
Scoot Dan.
Yeah. Georgie Haggis. Jota Strap.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
All puns, yeah.
Oh, dear. Paul Haggis. Scott Hogan. Oh, there's quite a few. Yeah.
Have you got Colin Doyle at Kilmarnock as well, Chris?
Yeah.
How's he doing?
Yeah, he's playing.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah, because normally he's like always a second goalkeeper, isn't he, everywhere he went.
Yeah.
He's got his chance and he's stepped up to the mark. So he's been playing. He's a great guy, great character. Great to have around the place as well. Big presence. I don't know if he'll actually. I think he might actually stay in Scotland. He's liked it that much. He actually stays in Edinburgh. He actually stays in Edinburgh. I stay in Glasgow, really. So they always say Edinburgh people.
I think Craig Courtney might be trying to get him on, actually.
Who?
Craig, who probably couldn't make contact with yourself. I think he's trying to get Doyle on.
Oh, I'll say him if he's one. I'll say him.
Oh, yeah.
He's mentioned us to him, yeah.
It'd be good to get Wade on as well, Chris, if we could at some stage. Wade Elliott.
Wade Elliott would be good.
Yeah, you want Wade? Right, no problem.
Yeah, get Wade.
Yeah.
Any more, Chris? Any more?
Alex McLeish, get him on. Please get him on.
You want McLeish?
Yeah, we want him. We do.
I'll ask a gaffer if he can come on.
Him.
Yeah, we'll do it. We won't give him any honest look. It's water under the bridge, and that's it. You know what I mean? And listen,
that'd be a great show. That would.
The guy gave us one of the best days of our lives as well.
The best, yeah.
The best. It was the best.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, any more coming in, Brownie? Because I can't see.
Okay, so we got Harley Aberdeen.
Love that.
Line.
No.
I've got the winner. I've got the winner. Lionel Nessie.
Oh, that's a bit harsh.
Lionel Nessie.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, Nessie.
Yeah, Nessie.
Nessie.
Messi. Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, very good.
Paul Haggis. And that's it so far. Fort William Bell.
What about Craig Shortbread?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's it.
Ben Nevis Foster.
Yeah. Paul Tatty. Robert the Steve Bruce.
Oh, who's that?
Yeah.
That played for Man City?
Who?
Ireland.
Stephen Ireland.
Yeah, Stephen Highland. Stephen Highland.
Stephen Highland.
Oh, yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
Stephen Highland.
Yeah.
Hadrian Mullins. Kenny Burns Knight. Christoph Duhaggis. Gordon Strapon. Oh, crikey.
Oh, God, blimey.
Oh, that slipped in. I'll have to...
Craig,
what's he said?
Craig's just asking me to ask your thoughts on Shay Adams playing for Scotland, Chris.
Yeah, no, good. I think he's been really promising since he's come in. And I worked with, obviously, Steve Clarke, so he's his sort of player. And he'll definitely improve him as well. I don't know what you think about him, but...
I like him.
He's energetic. He looks as if he wants to always learn and take stuff on. He can see a pass forward. That's what I like about him. He's back to goal, but he can turn. And if you see his first Scotland goal, he does exactly back to goal, turns the player, gets a shot off and scores. He did all the work himself, which is good. So no, it's something that we need as well, especially going to the Euros.
This is the best team you've had for a while, isn't it?
Yeah, if you look at our midfield is strong. You know,
Yeah.
Callum McGregor, we've got McGinn, we've got somebody that plays for Rangers called Ryan Jack. He's injured just now, but we've got McTominay who can play centre half and central midfield. We've got Armstrong who doesn't even play. You know, he's a substitute. That just shows you how strong our midfield is. We've got Fraser as well on the wing, plays for Newcastle. We've got a lot of players that play in the Premier League. You've got Tierney, you've got Robertson, arguably the two best left backs in the Premier League.
Definitely.
It's a shame, I think Tierney's out to the end of the season. I hope he makes the Euros. It's really, really important for us.
Chris, would you ever come back down south if the chance arose? You know, for coaching or whatever, or are you just happy in Scotland now?
For a fee.
No, I would definitely come back to England to coach if I ever had the opportunity. I think if you want to become the best, you have to go to England. It's no disrespect to Scotland, but it can only take you so far. And if you want to broaden your horizons and develop your own self as well as help develop these talented players, then I definitely would consider, not even consider, I would be in England because it would probably help me develop quicker.
Would your lad got an interest in football? As in doing it?
Who? My boys?
Yeah.
So my boy's 12. The one that scored the goal into the open net, he plays for Kilmarnock.
Oh, yeah.
What?
And then he plays for under 14s. He's 08. And my other one, who's 9, he plays rugby and football. Not for Kilmarnock, but he plays football as well. So they do love football. Probably more so my 12-year-old than my 9-year-old. He's training 3 times a week, get a game in the weekend as well. So he's intense.
Fantastic.
All right. I'm just going to go through a few more, Nick, just to keep you happy.
Yeah, please, by all means. I'll chuck my first Scotty dog down.
Curtis Kilt. Monarch of...
I've been trying to think of one with Kilt. Well done.
Monarch of the Glen Johnson.
Oh, this is a good one. 2 and doors down.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, that's clever. Yeah,
that's a good one.
Willie Sporran.
He was a beast, wasn't he, in the middle, that Garoin and door.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was, yeah.
Good player.
He was a beast. He was a presence that you need in the midfield sometimes. Again, someone that helped us play the way we wanted to play, because we had that many attacking players, and he would be the one that would sit and cover, and he would win aerial duels as well. He always used to put cream on his body before games. I don't know if Marlon told you this.
No,
he didn't.
Sorry, what on his body?
Little cream on.
this magic cream on his body. It would be now like a bottle like this. It would have
God, I've got a lot of editing to do tomorrow.
We'll go for Joey Tartan.
It would have cream inside, and he would put his whole body in Robbie selling cream, and it would stink though. It would stink. But hey, maybe that's why he wanted the player to go away from him, and he could keep his distance from his office.
What type of cream? Not double cream, was it?
Oh, I don't know what it was, Matt. It was in a bottle like this, so you didn't know what it was. It was a magic cream.
Don't sound right. That don't sound right.
No.
Anthony says, "What a fantastic guest Berkey has been. Superb.
Superb.
Top guy.
Brilliant, mate.
Yeah. Chris murdering you apart again."
That's my winner.
What about the proclainers? The procaners. Yeah.
Chris Burke, will be murdering you apart again? We just Iron Brewster, Tommy Shankner Mooney, Gordon Strachan, Cleanville. Don't understand that. KYG, who keeps doing these? Come on, Brum City Bowlers.
I bet you thought, who's that for a minute?
Mull of Acox Green. And I think that's about it.
Chris, one last quick question. What's your favourite goal you scored for us?
In Maribor.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably, yeah. I can see that.
One question from me then, Chris, right? After that game, did you play in the Bruges game?
The what game?
Bruges game.
Bruges.
Yeah.
What was it like in the dressing room when all the fans were singing out?
Yeah, it was amazing, to be fair. Unbelievable. I think, we were the only team to beat them since...
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Ground, yeah.
And I thought we deserved to win as well, if I'm honest. It was not as if it was a fluke. I thought we deserved to win. I remember, though, it was not very nice because I think Ibanez had a bad head injury, didn't he?
Yeah.
Really nasty. Game stopped for a long time, so we were actually, that took us aback a bit. I think Gran and Daw maybe was the one that was a bit upset about it.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
So actually took the whole group back a bit, and to then maybe do it for him in the sense as well as the fans. It helped and it spurred us on. Always remember that, and coming in and obviously seeing the fans, and it was an amazing feeling. It's hard to explain. It's hard to put in words.
Yeah.
How you just appreciate, what the fans bring to football, and I think it's even more so noticeable with this COVID situation.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, seeing my career right now, this has been the worst season in my career. It's just been so bleak. Fans,
when you see that the Bruges video at the end, and the Bruges supporters are clapping the Blues fans, that to me is what football is. That is what football is. No matter who you are, one big family.
Definitely, goosebumps.
Well, Chris, I'm afraid we've run out of time.
What
an absolute megastar of a guest we've had tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Burke, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for giving up your time, mate.
Chris.
Yeah, cheers, Chris.
We'll keep in contact and keep in touch, all right? And I'll try.
Yeah, too right.
Alex McLeish.
Try and get everything that you want on, all right? Just send me an email of your demands.
I don't know. There could be a murder.
That makes me giggle every time I hear it. Could be a murder. Oh dear, Chris, do you want to say goodbye to everybody?
Yeah, no, thanks guys for the memories. Obviously, you always speak about football player and the memories that you get from them, but I get great memories, and probably more so from you guys and the people that are listening, and then maybe the people that aren't listening just now. He's made me not just a better football player, but he's made me a better human being.
Oh, you're a superman. Well, I'll tell you what though, from every single Birmingham City fan, thank you for those memories. I tell you what, because they stick in here and they stay in there, and they do. And when we saw that little child put that ball in the net, that made my season. Go on, lad, get it in. Honestly, it was superb. It was brilliant. Right, okay, we've got to go. So, unfortunately, Adam, we didn't get a great deal of time to talk to you tonight, but never mind.
No, I've been late.
That was your penance, your punishment for coming in late. Ladies and gentlemen, Wilkes, thanks for all the work you do in the background, Adam.
No problem at all.
And from Paul Hipkiss.
Thank you very much. Good night, all.
And from Mark.
Good night, everyone. Stay safe. Have a good week.
And from Mrs. Brown.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. God bless. Take care. Keep right on. All the way. Rotherham next. Let's do this. Let's get 6 goals. Let's get him in the buff. Let's get it done. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only legend, Chris Burke. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, guys.